Next, let's introduce the last cycle among the four major cycles. The manufacturing cycle, PP manufacture. The departments involved in this cycle are the following four. First is production and material control, PMC. Second is manufacturing, MFG. Third is quality assurance, QA. And fourth is warehouse management, warehouse. Used within this cycle are programs from three modules, which are LRP, Lot Requirement Planning. Second is Manufacture Order Subcontract. Third is Inventory. These three major modules. There are four main tasks in this cycle. They are 1. Production Material Planning. 2. Create Manufacture Order. 3. Inventory Transaction Note. And 4. FQC OQC. These four main tasks. Next, let's look at what programs are used within the manufacturing cycle and its list. We divide the list of programs used into two main parts. The upper part is related to the LRP, Lot Requirement Planning, module, and the outputs of this operation. The lower part is related to work order creation, material issuance, material picking, and related warehousing operations programs. Next, let's use a flowchart to introduce the work done in the entire cycle. First, let's look at the work performed in the LRP, Lot Requirement Planning, module. LRP, a type of material requirements planning similar to MRP. In this planning, two main things are produced. One is the production plan. The other is the purchasing plan. The production plan will subsequently connect to the work order module for follow-up production operations. The purchasing plan will connect to the previously mentioned purchasing cycle for raw material procurement operations. The production plan and purchasing plan are the main outputs of LRP. Next, let's look at the details of LRP-related operations. Before LRP starts, to prevent residual documents from the previous calculation affecting the current supply and demand calculation. Before starting LRP, we will clear all planned orders from the previous period. So, first execute delete LRP plan to clear the previous planned orders. Then, initiate the LRP supply and demand calculation. During the LRP calculation process, basic material data is imported from various modules. At the same time, supply and demand data are also imported. A complete calculation is performed within the LRP module. What data is imported in total? Besides basic data, material or work order related information imported into the module for calculation. There is also the factory calendar. Forecasts are also imported from the sales order module, along with the required times and quantities related to orders. And from the production structure module, the materials BOM and its routing are imported for explosion. Additionally, from the manufacture order subcontract module, existing in-house work orders and subcontracting work order information are imported. Also, from the inventory module, the current inventory quantities of raw materials, semi-finished goods, and finished goods are imported as supply quantities. Finally, from the purchasing module, the delivery dates and outstanding quantities of open purchase orders are imported for calculation. After importing this basic data and supply-demand side data for calculation, LRP, based on the basic parameters of raw materials, finished goods, and semi-finished goods, will generate two groups of planned orders. The first group of planned orders relates to the production plan. The other group of planned orders relates to the purchasing plan. The production plan refers to finished and semi-finished goods, based on BOM and routing. Calculating when production operations need to start to complete production and delivery on time. So, in this block, production planned orders are generated after review by PMC. If these planned orders are to be adopted, these planned orders will be marked. Finally, the system can convert the marked planned orders into work orders for subsequent scheduling and production. With the production plan, we can calculate material requirements based on work orders or planned orders. The lower part of this flowchart is the purchasing plan. Similarly, a series of planned orders will be generated. After review by PMC, these planned orders are expected to be converted into purchase requisitions. These marked planned orders go through electronic approval. Finally, they are released into the purchasing system, becoming purchase requisitions. Because in the third cycle, we have already introduced the related operations within the purchasing cycle, M cycle, so we won't elaborate further here. We will only explain the parts not previously introduced here, which is related to the production plan for work orders. Next, let's look at what actions are taken in the work order and subcontracting order module. Here, work orders can be generated in large quantities batches. Some work orders can also be created manually. This information connects to the work order, manufacture order, subcontract module. We see in the upper right corner of the flowchart, we can see LRP requirement planning. These planned orders are passed to the work order module as the source for the production plan. Another function in this module is handling the requirements for subcontracting work orders. Before subcontracting, it's necessary to find qualified and suitable subcontractors. Once we find a subcontractor capable of taking the job, the processing unit price approval process is carried out. The price approval operation is done through the electronic approval system for reviewing the processing unit price. The processing unit price is generated after approval. PMC reviews the production plan and marks the planned orders to be converted into work orders through the Create Manufacture Order program. The marked planned orders are converted into official work orders. After converting to official work orders, scheduling operations can proceed. When the time reaches the work order's planned start date, work order production can be initiated. After the work order is released by PMC, the first stop is warehouse management for work order material preparation. When warehouse staff pick materials according to the work order, they need to generate a work order material requisition for inventory deduction. This can be done through Create Material Requisition. To generate the requisition slip for subcontracting work orders, material issuance is also required. Issuing materials for subcontracting is done through the Create Subcontract Goods Receipt program to complete the material issuance for subcontracting work orders. When warehouse staff issue materials for the work order, they are delivered to the production line for production. In Taiwan, the work order enters the SFT, shop floor tracking system, for tracking production quantity and progress. In Indonesia, tracking is done through paper-based operations. When these raw materials are gradually produced into semi-finished or finished goods. After the work order production is completed, they need to be put into temporary storage in the warehouse. This requires using Create Production Stocking Note. This program to generate a stocking note. When warehouse staff press confirm on the stocking note, the work order's qualified quantity is entered into the inventory system. This connects to the shipping process. In the SD module, when sales issues a shipping notice, warehouse staff will perform the material picking operation. Then, based on the forwarder's pickup time, the relevant goods are sent to the customer. Regarding subcontracted processing, when the subcontracted semi-finished, finished goods, after being accepted by IQC, incoming quality control, it becomes necessary to pay the processing fee. The subsequent operations will then follow the process in the cycle for generating accounts payable. Just like raw material procurement, after acceptance of the subcontracted work order, workstation output, payment needs to be made to the subcontractor or outsourcing vendor for the related processing fees. This connects to the accounts payable module. Up to this point is what we cover in the PP cycle. Regarding LRP material requirements planning and manufactured order, subcontract, in-house manufactured work orders and subcontracted work orders, the operational content within this module. Next, let's look sequentially at these operations and their corresponding programs. The upper part is related to LRP. We see the first step is through delete LRP plan to first clear past planned orders. The program code is LRPB06. After clearing the previous period's planned orders, next is to generate the current period's planned orders. The current period's planned orders must be generated through the Generate Lot Requirement Planning program. The program code is LRPMB01. This outputs the planned orders derived from the current period's supply and demand calculation. When these production plans are generated, PMC needs to review these planned orders to confirm which are needed and which are not. Through the Maintain LRP Production by Item Number program, adjust the time and quantity of the required planned orders. The program code is LRPMI01. After adjusting the required planned orders, convert them into work orders. So first, mark all the required planned orders through the Lock Production Plan program. LRPB02, mark all these required planned orders. Finally, through the Issue Production Plan program. LRPMB03, directly convert the planned orders into work orders. The above is the operation for converting production plans into official work orders. When the production schedule adjustment is complete, we run LRP again through the Generate Lot Requirement Planning program. Calculate the material requirements for work orders, planned orders. LRP will then generate the so-called purchasing plan. The purchasing plan also undergoes review by PMC through the Maintain LRP Purchase by Item Number program. Adjust the time and quantity of the purchase planned orders. The program code is LRPMI03. Keep the planned orders that are to be released as purchase requisitions through the Lock Purchase Plan program. Mark these planned orders. Finally, through the Issue Purchase Plan LRPB05 program, Release these purchase planned orders as purchase requisitions, connecting to the purchasing cycle to be converted into purchase orders. This section covers the upper part, LRP, Lot Requirement Planning, S. Related operational content. Next, we look at the lower part. The lower part concerns work order related operations. If there is subcontracted processing, then a processing price checking list must first be created. Create price checking list for processing. This operation is used for the approval of the subcontracted processing unit price. The program code is MOCI 10. Next, when we want to create work orders for in-house production or subcontracted production, we can use the Create Manufacturer Order program. The program code is MOCMI02. Create the in-house or subcontracted work order. After the work order is created, considering the material availability date and capacity constraints, the production schedule can be adjusted. When the work order materials are ready, or the required materials can arrive before the start date, production control will release this work order before the planned start date. The first stop after releasing the work order is warehouse management, where warehouse staff create a material requisition slip and prepare the materials needed for this work order. The program used is Create Material Requisition. The program code is MOCMI03. After production by the production line or the subcontracting vendor is complete, followed by receiving subcontracted goods or the in-house work order stocking operation. When subcontracted work order production is finished and delivered to warehouse management, the Create Subcontract Goods Receipt program is used to temporarily receive the processed goods, which are then handed over to IQC for incoming inspection. The program code is MOCI06. If it's an in-house manufactured work order, it's through the Production Stocking Note creation operation, the Create Production Stocking Note program, that the qualified semi-finished or finished goods quantity produced by the work order is put into stock, allowing it to be used by the next level work order or to fulfill orders created by the sales unit. Completing the entire production to shipment process. The program code is MOCI05. The above are the programs used in the PP cycle, along with their codes and related operations. This concludes this section.